We're about to take it back.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Tony and Julie on the radio. Dr. Joe's therapy on the radio. The love doctor going live on the radio. Two mics and a mind on the radio. Radio, turned up on the 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 radio. Two nights and a mind. Two nights and a mind. Two nights and a mind. Two nights and a mind.
Hello, and welcome to Two Mics in the Mind. I'm Tuli, one of your hosts, and I'm joined with my co-host.
Hello, guys.
Dr. and Resident Joe. Eventually, you'll see us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we back.
Hello.
Back. We are back. I like saying that. I like telling everybody that we are back. You know what I'm saying? You got to make an announcement. We back.
We are back.
Y'all thought it was over. Y'all thought it was done, but we are back in the building. Oh, yeah. It ain't over. It ain't over. Y'all thought it was over. It ain't over. You know why it ain't over? Because we back.
We are back. Wow. That's nice energy. That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's all about. It's all about the energy. All about the energy. I've been having a wonderful week, going out, spreading love all over the world, all over the area code, all other zip codes, all other nation codes. Y'all know right now we all over the world.
Yes, we
These
are.
people in Czechoslovakia right now, they listen.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. Hello, everyone.
It's people in Indonesia. They out there listening. It's people in Jerusalem. They out there listening. They have access. We spread it all over the global. As a matter of fact, let's take it another notch. We all in the galaxy right now. It's people out there, if you believe in space, they in the space station. They got internet access. They listen to us right now. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are being heard.
That's right. As always, I am doing good. I am feeling good. And I am looking good. What more can I say?
You are looking good. Be nice to, right, Tuli, to share that. Where are you? We can't see you. Well, doctor.
Prove you're looking good.
I'm prepared. I don't want to be videoing and doing other stuff at the same time. So I'm waiting when I get a legal opportunity where it'll be legal and not against the law to be able to be on the phone and on the camera at the same time while I'm doing other stuff.
Okay.
I am here.
All right. We'll be waiting for that entrance, love doctor.
Oh yeah. It's coming. But in the meantime, how's everybody's week been going?
Everything's been going pretty good for me. It's coming along very good. Mm-hmm. Yep, no complaints.
Same here. Amazing. I can share that feeling, love doctor, this week. Definitely. It's been amazing. Can't complain.
Oh yeah. Anything special you did this week?
I think every day is special. Every day is something different, especially in the field I'm in. Every day is something different. But same, trying to help people in the mental awareness area. Other than that, little surprises here and there. Just happy. The weather is beautiful. I was in the beach on Tuesday, so I can't complain.
Oh, I heard about that. I know with me, it's really, really hot everywhere.
95. With you, I heard it's cold in Georgia. I don't know.
Listen, it is extremely cold in Georgia, but everywhere I go, the people tell me that I'm hot. I don't understand. The ladies be like, anybody told you that you're really hot? And I'm like, hey, I be like, well, hey, actually, people have told me that before in the past.
Are they over the age of 70? Where are these ladies? In like a assisted living facility, or where are they?
Could be.
If you call living at home with your parents an assisted living facility, then maybe some of them are in assisted living accommodations.
That's the problem. They might not be wearing their glasses.
Ooh, you know what I want to talk about real quick now that you bring that up? Double standards. I want to talk about double standards in the sense of double standards. Like if a man was living at home with his parents, society would deem him as like, nah, he's a loser. Why is it not the same thing if a woman would be living at home in assisted living situations? Should she be deemed a loser?
Now I don't
It all
think.
depends.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think it all depends on the culture. I mean, for us specifically, we are supposed to wait till we get married to leave the house.
Oh,
As like,
really?
yeah, because you're leaving the house, and then Latino families are. I know, I'm not sure how, but I know certain families are strict. And so, what are you doing in a house on your own? Are you bringing man, etc.? It's just like old school kind of thinking. So I think it depends on the culture. I think for women is a little different than for men. As long as they got their stuff together, I think it should be fine. Their life together.
Ooh,
For
that's
women.
interesting. You just schooled me on some Latino culture. I did not know that about Latino culture.
Yeah, the parents are kind of strict.
Hmm.
Oh, Tuli,
Yeah.
what do you think is a double standard?
Double standard. No, I don't think it's really because of the shift and change and everything that we're going through as far as COVID and job losses and things like that. I think if you meet someone and they stay with someone, even if it's their parent, I think that is the norm at this point in our lives. Um, and you never know why why you have to stay with someone. When we first got married, we had to stay with my father-in-law. He was sick. I mean, you just never know why you have to do why the situations are the way they are. So I don't judge people when they're if they're staying at home with their mom or dad. Um, you never know, they can have a huge bank because of that. And yeah, and good credit. So when it's time for you guys to get together, bam, so I'm not really big on judging that, but as long as you're standing on your own while you're there, I think that's important. But I don't look down on people who share living accommodations for various reasons.
I
Yeah.
think that's cool. I think that's spot on. It just is some women nowadays they'll look at a guy as if, hey, nah, he need to be in his own. He need to have his own if he trying to get with me. I don't know if women really understand the society right now as far as the dynamics and in terms of inflation and economics right here.
Right.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
there are some that are like that,
Oh,
right?
oh,
Right.
yeah,
Technically,
yeah.
they have the right to be like that. Is that what you want? You don't want such and such. So, yeah, they're right. Not that. Not that.
Hey, you know what, Tula? Because you've been experienced. You've been married for like 48 years or something like that. How long you been married? Something like that. I know
Yeah.
you've been married longer than you've been single, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So you've been married for
Wow.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. She's been
That's
married
a
for a
beautiful
long
thing.
Longer
That's a
than
time.
my
Absolutely.
as I knew.
Absolutely. That's a beautiful thing.
beautiful thing. Yep.
Right now, do you think is advisable as far as couples right now? What do you think they really need to know before they get married? What they really need to be looking for in a spouse? Because a lot of women out here don't really know what they're looking for, and a lot of men also don't know what they're looking for. But since you experience, should they be looking for, Tula?
Looking for. I don't think you should be looking for. I just think you yourself need to know what you are willing to tolerate. Because
Ooh,
that's the best thing that you can control because a man can show you exactly what you want. I can open your door, I can show you chivalry, I can come up with money, I can buy you things, I can show you whatever you want to see. But when it comes down to reality, you're gonna have to figure out what you are willing to tolerate.
That's right. I
Period.
agree with that.
This is true. This is definitely true. This is definitely true indeed. I think for the most part, it just really, really irks me from time to time, the whole deal about how I don't know, different expectation things that go on, with overall process and things of that nature. I just more so along the lines, I just look at I do so much counseling, so much therapy, marriage counseling, relationship counseling. I've been lately focused on a lot of premarital counseling, couples and stuff like that, trying to avoid and navigate. And it just seems
I
like
know.
just to get two people to work together. So that's a beautiful thing. You and your spouse have been able to work together for so many years, too. Congratulations to you.
Yes, yes. Congratulations. I definitely applaud that. But where do you think these standards are coming from? Why are women asking for this, or why are men asking for this, and women, like, where are they coming from? Where do these ideas come from?
Well, actually, that's what I was going to ask you, women. Where is it coming from?
What?
Society.
Is that what it is, really? Society?
Society's puts a measurement into where you're supposed to be versus into where, as an individual, like Tuli said, right? Can you tolerate this man specifically how he is? Not how you can't compare other men to one man. I mean, I feel like we're all individuals. So, but society measures everyone through the same glass or window or mirror. Like, you can't. Everyone's different. So, in my opinion, it's society. But where do you think this comes from, Tuli? The expectations.
Just our history. Just our history. I think knowing that I think it all depends on how you were raised, to be honest with you. What you saw. Not only just that, because you can not be in a house and you can see something. If you have friends that have parents, you can see things. So it is, I guess, is what we're being taught subliminally through television, movies, things like that. Because everybody, used to say, like he was talking about, like, your Prince Charming, your happily ever after. You think when you get married, that's just the thing for your life, and you live happily ever after. So I think that's where it comes from. Yeah. And I think it's very important that people make a mistake when they try to build their marriages and their life based on happiness.
Ooh, explain that. Expound on that.
Because that's when things go awry, because you building it, you thinking, okay, I'm just gonna be so happy. I'm building it on happiness. I'm happy to be with you. I'm happy we're together. I'm happy we got a house. I'm happy we got a car. So if something happens to that part that's causing you to be happy, what do? Your marriage crumbles. I'm happy to have my wife. Look at her body. Oh, it is banging.
Oh yeah, that banging body. So
okay,
you don't go for the banging body? Is that what you're saying?
Bigger. She has kids. Something she did not know because her mom's small or her sisters are small. This is just her genetics, her makeup. So that part of your happiness is like chipped away, because I'm like, wait, whoa, you like, no, I want the Coca-Cola bottle. I want the banging body. What happened to the banging body?
What is wrong with the banging body and chasing the banging body? What's wrong with the Coca-Cola?
That, but you should not base your marriage you should not base your marriage on happiness. That was just an example that I used. I don't think you base your marriage on happiness, because things happen and they change us, and they change, situations change, and then you may not be happy. But if you build it on something else that's greater than the thinking about just being happy, then I think the marriages will last and stand the test of time.
Oh, that's awesome. What do you think you should build it on?
Not happy.
Right. I totally agree with you.
I agree with Tuli. I think it should be built on values and reality. Like, values and reality. Like,
yes.
That's it. Because reality is that the woman's body is going to change and we're going to get wrinkled. And reality is that we might get poor a day. You have to just learn how to survive. And values. I think if you have values and you understand that love is a decision and not a feeling, eventually you're going to have to choose to love your wife, even if you're not feeling it. That's just the values.
Yep.
So,
Definitely.
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 So should it be more so focused on and looked at as if it were a business decision rather than based on happiness?
Business? People do business. I don't think I would say that.
Yeah, I think that's what the
So what would you say to base it on, Julie?
I think it would be based on a partnership. I'm here for you. You're here for me. I got you. You got me. Let's work together as partners. And let's do the darn thing.
Yeah. Teamwork.
There it is. It's hard. It's hard getting people out there to work together, but it's a beautiful thing when you do meet someone y'all can actually work together. That's always a beautiful thing. That's rare to find. But I tell you what, just interesting stuff that it all has something to do with what I refer to as legislative racism. Believe it or not, all different areas and facets of our lives, different areas of activities of our life, all have something to do with known as legislative racism. Perhaps throughout the course of the show, we'll hit on some of that stuff, but we definitely got a really, really good show lined up. We got some good news articles lined up. Tuli, tell them what we got lined up. Come on, Tuli.
We have some good news articles lined up, and we have some good commercials coming up. And we definitely encourage you to call. And if you want to join our show, there's a link. If you go to the Blog Talk Radio page, you will see the link. If you don't have it already, it gives you a link to watch us on YouTube or join our conversation. You don't have to be on screen unless you want to be on screen. But you definitely can join our conversation. It is not, it's just a different way to join. So definitely join our conversation. Bam, it's right there. And we would love to hear from you and hear your ideas on what you think about what we just said. What do you think we should build marriages on?
That's right. Y'all call in, let people know what y'all need to build these marriages on, because there's a lot of people like the Three Little Pigs. They building their marriage on straw. They building their marriage on wood. But you need to build your marriage on that solid foundation.
That's right.
Yeah. That's what we out here doing these streets. The Three Little Pigs coming back. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That big bad wolf gonna come one day, blow these marriages down, blow these relationships down. Y'all gotta make sure y'all protected. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I'm excited. Looking forward to a good show. Ain't that right?
That's right. That's right.
All right. Well, that being said, y'all, let's get ready for a commercial break. Yeah.
Products. All natural vegan body products for the entire family. Bara products can be found on Amazon.com and BaraProducts.com. Follow them on Instagram at Bara Products. IV Dispatching Services. Your trucker's lifeline for transportation. Can be reached at 601-433-4242. IV Dispatching Services. Essential Massage. Professional massage services with elevations available. Give them a call at 678-379-9664. Be good to your body with an essential massage. Simply Subordinate Residential and Commercial Cleaning. Give them a call at 770-369-0556. The people who make your dirt behave. Simply Subordinate. Panthera Tactical can be reached at www.pantheratacticalllc.com. Panthera Tactical would like for you to be your own first responder. PD Custom Printing. PD Custom Printing for all your custom printing needs. Follow them on Instagram at PDPrinting17. You can give them a call at 678-855-0022. PD Custom Printing. Ion Win. Ion Win are massaging gel insoles and energy bands. www.ionwins.com. Receive 30% off your first order using the coupon code Tuli and Tony. Ion Win. Nika's Oils and Detergents. Nika's Oils and Detergents can be reached at 678-421-4327. Nika has the most popular fragrances on the market. 5-gallon laundry detergents as well. Tide, Gain, Free, and Clear. Call Nika's Oils and Detergents. 678-421-4327. Michelle Magwood with Magwood Homes can be reached at 857-891-4545. Contact Michelle for all your real estate needs. Michelle Magwood with Magwood Homes.
Speak to Yasharal. To the Yahudim first. Y'all know what time it is. Depart from the dark with them is what I've been taught. Cause I'm in struggling here and suffering. Play with these idol gods with them, they Jesus. I had put all my heart in them. He frauded me, even left a little scar in me. I'm wounded with the wound of an enemy, chastised cruelly. From multitudes of iniquity, most high bruised me. I knew he was sick of me, I could battle reproach. But look, I turned from iniquity, let me cry loud. Spare not, lift up my voice to the people, but they hear not. He say the oxen know his owner, the ass his master strip. Y'all should roll, don't consider my people leading with sin. Every time you look around, look Satan play them again. Keep pouring out your soul, we gon' rape you again. We all done did things we don't wanna repeat again, so let's not hold nothing in. It's getting close to the end. Now put your hands up if you are Hab Yahusha. Now put your hands down, Yara Yahuwah. Present yourself flawless, who called Shabur? The Yahudim know what it is, now give him all a kaboo. Put your hands up if you are Hab Yahusha. Now put your hands down, Yara Yahuwah. Present yourself flawless, who called Shabur? The Yahudim know what it is, now give him all a kaboo. Don't be offended by synonyms and anonyms, but be converted to the hers and the hymns. Submit your body, head, torso, and your limbs, and what's inside is unified so we can live. Just as Yahusha left out, he's coming back again. And all the soul of a rise, you know what's happening then. It gon' be weeping and wailing all through the streets, and the sins you don't let go of, all of them you can keep. Love, you know you don't want that man to tell you be filthy still, so do to Barasha. Now which it is? Come on over on your side, you know it's real. Just turn right and go straight, you know, shift the gears, be sound in it, get you a crown fitted. This land get destroyed or prosperous, cause we in it. You know the Mount Coop is for the Kadash, we gon' get it. America, just like Amalek, don't forget it. Now put your hands up if you are Hab Yahusha. Now put your hands down, Yara Yahuwah. Present yourself flawless, who called Shabur? The Yahudim know what it is, now give him all a kaboo. Put your hands up if you are Hab Yahusha. Now put your hands down, Yara Yahuwah. Present yourself flawless, who called Shabur? The Yahudim know what it is, now give him all a kaboo. Let me examine myself to see if I got sufficient. Don't wanna get too far, find out something missing. Gotta keep my lamp lit, bring enough fall with me to keep the path on beat. I'm sick of that hard living. I want to turn a Kai, gotta avoid sinning. Don't wanna stick out to the system, but I'm dark skinned. Yahusha blood on me, I'm a mark nigga. I gotta do the bar and I'm a shamar quick. I'm done, help me keep my vow, you can make it.
We're about to take it back.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Tony and Julie on the radio. Dr. Joe's therapy on the radio. The love doctor going live on the radio. 2 mics and a mind on the radio. Radio, turned up 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 on the radio. 2 mics and a mind. 2 mics and a mind. 2 mics and a mind. 2 mics and a mind.
All right, we are back. Sydney.
Hello, y'all. I don't see in YouTube.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Guess who we got here too? We got Tony joining us. Tony is now in place. What is going on?
Hello.
Hello, listen, I've been in play. Y'all couldn't hear me. I was like, what's going on with the link?
You on a break?
No, I was before that.
Oh, we
Y'all
didn't see.
ask about what makes a successful marriage.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
answer.
told you what else. Sex.
Yes, sir.
Tell me.
Huh?
That's what I'm talking about. Some real answers. That's what I'm talking about. Getting the real.
Because if something happened, you can't get it in. What again? See how men think.
What you mean? What you mean? If something happened, you
You
can't
been
get it?
there.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
It might
what?
be
What?
something sick. And I can't give it. Do it.
See?
I was in the hospital for 14 days. You think he had sex in the hospital? No.
Hey, he did
You
make
was like,
14
listen.
visits up there
You
though.
was like, listen, I made 14 videos. You listen, you was asleep. A lot of times you weren't woke. You don't know what happened. No, but what makes a successful marriage? Let me say this. Sex is a part of a marriage. You can take it out of the marriage. It will dampen, it'll hurt the marriage. People can say, oh no, it's not, it's being friends. That's a lie. It's not, it's very much a part of the marriage because it's an affectionate part and it's a human part of a person. So it's an essential part. Now it's a difference when a person is ill or handicapped, or decapitated or something like that. Then you learn to adjust and you learn to be close in conversation. You learn to do things together to move past that. But it's gonna be some type of foreplay or something, unless you just gotten so old, and decrepit, and you just can't do anything. But a lot of times with women, that's the truth with women, and guys have to consider that going in and always remembering there's always that option. With women, it's hormonal. There's a lot of different things that you can go through and things can happen. And you have to kind of really be strong minded and remember what your vows are that you said that you'll make. A lot of time people don't really look at it, and when things get tough, people get going, people quit. Just because people, you say it, but you say it with the intent of it never happening, and it can very well happen. It's happened to people a day of, day after, weeks after, months after, a year after. And you have to be practical when you get a person. Am I into this person enough to where the sex is not the major focal point to where it could end my marriage if we don't do it or don't have sex? And that's something people have to be real with themselves, or financial, because it will crush, it will destroy a marriage, and people do. By the con of Mr. Yahuwah, they'll call it grace. We've been married for over 27 years, and I've never been with another woman. This has been who I've been with. Good time, bad times. We had things happen. And it's not, without acknowledging. It's the pain, the struggles of the difficult situations that you learn to work through, and then you learn to appreciate what you have.
I agree.
So that's just me.
Man, well, I think that's beautiful. I think that's really, really beautiful. To see people marriages lasting the test of time, standing the test of time. That's definitely something. I actually in the process of. I recently designed a particular T-shirt. It was called Heterosexual Pride and Pro-Life, Pro-Family, getting people back into really understanding the importance and significance of family, really getting back into that. So that's ultimately something that I really, really like to see. And perhaps one day we'll all be able to experience that marriage and see that you guys work like that together. That's really, really wonderful. Y'all I got to get some sound effects. I got to give a real, real big shout out. I need to blow the whistle, surprise to all the married people out there in the YouTube land and Blog Talk land out there still doing and staying together and keeping the sex strong. According to Tony.
Yeah.
You need it. Oh, yeah.
You gotta have that.
Beautiful thing, yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, indeed. Yeah, indeed. But any
A lot of people these days don't.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm looking in the queue right now, and I see we getting more people in the queue. If you want to join the queue, got comments and want to make some comments or whatever, share some thoughts, I definitely see some people load up in the queue. Definitely just put one finger up in the queue like that so we'll know that you're ready to speak, or if you're just listening in, whatever the case may be. Tuli, can they still call in on Blog Talk still and get the phone number if they want to call in via Blog Talk? But everybody, we need to get them through this link.
I'm not sure.
Is there a way we can make that announcement for Blog Talk listeners so they'll know to come to this
Blog
YouTube
Talk.
page?
They hear. They hear us.
They can hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, from the phone number, so
Oh,
they can still, yeah. For those,
Yes.
we're still ironing out the bugs. This is something they wanted to jump into so people can see us, as well as talk to us. You can join in, we can conversate. Also, I want to give a shout out to Confederate State 48. He had a transplant on, I think it's today and tomorrow, the
Oh,
two crucial days, critical days, and definitely in my Palau. That Mr. Yahuwah grant him and, get him back. To Derek, another listener, I was on Twitter, both of them Twitter followers of mine. So I appreciate them. And they also, watch us as well from, the way of y'all. But appreciate them. His son is in the hospital, has been in the hospital, allowing for him to, get out and be strong. People don't realize, your health is so critical, and
right.
it's not something, you can work to try to to get a better benefit, but it all comes from above. Whether he allow you to see, walk, stand, talk, understand, cancer, diabetes, but these aren't things that people pick. Sickle cell, need a heart, a lung, it makes you appreciate life for what it is because you realize how in control you are and how in control he is and just how how precious things are. You heard all the oh life is precious and things. Yeah, you hear that until things really come to affect you. Tula
Facts.
just recently, what she was in the hospital for 14 days. I videoed her. We at the hospital.
Oh yeah.
It's a day surgery. She was like, hey, you don't really have to go. It's an in and out surgery. I'm glad I took off and went and in and out surgery. Stayed so long that they put me out of day surgery and told me they would put her in a room. I was like, I'm getting evicted. And that keeping her overnight observation turned in 3-4 days, come home a couple of days and back in the hospital. So you said you just look at, it just unraveled a lot of things. It's like it's so much we do, you take for granted and you realize, wow, that the piece of the puzzle is out. It's difficult and you gotta try to get here, still maintain, handle things you got you do, and you just consider how precious life really is. It's important. And we get, we say a lot of things humorous and other things we do, and even humor is true. But it's important to really sit back and make sure that you really have your spirituality intact, and
Right.
that what you're doing is the right thing. You're not just like they say pissing in the wind because it'll come back on you. What you saying you believe will be tested, and you got to make sure that when you say that's what it is. Hold on for a minute. Stay out the street, you homeless bum.
And on the next episode, we're talking about road rage. We're gonna be talking about road rage on the next episode. That's what we're doing then.
Listen,
Talking
I'm
about
sitting
road
here
rage.
driving. You know what? I got a mind to go back. This person
No.
saying go back at this person. No, it was a homeless guy walking down the street, and it looked like he had a can in his hand. And in this neighborhood, we don't do that. I seen smoke coming out that can. That drink wasn't that cold. It looked like I seen some fire blazing on the top, so I was gonna go back and try to clean the neighborhood up. But anyway, up off these crackheads. I want to clean up my neighborhood because I live
Yeah,
here and I don't want crackheads hanging around here,
Oh my
pulling on that pipe.
that's
You
right.
know
We
what I'm
don't
saying?
we don't we don't want that.
We don't
God.
want that.
They probably live here because there's houses.
You can live here. You can live here, but you just can't smoke that crack.
No, I don't. It's your business. I'm not here to judge.
Oh, crack.
That's true.
Am I asking too much?
That's true. That's
But
true.
anyway,
I'm looking right now in the queue, and I think
yeah.
we got Confederate State 48 might want to say something real quick. So what I'm about to do, I'm about to bring in the one, the only Confederate State 48. What's going on? What's going on? How you doing there, buddy?
Hey guys, how's
hello.
everything? How's everyone? Good afternoon to all. I appreciate the comments and concerns. To the panel, love Dr. You Resident Joe, also Miss Tulin, last but not least, the Honorable Tony Smith. I just appreciate you guys. I had my surgery, my transplant yesterday and today, so I'm in phase 0. It counts down. I went from the -1 to I'm at 0 right now. So they replaced my stem cells. I'll go back in the morning at 8:30 Western time, Mountain time, Western time, Arizona time, and 8:30 in the morning to be readmitted. So I have to be there for the duration of approximately like 30 days. So, but I'll definitely be tuning in the best I can, following on the platform that you guys provide. And it's just an honor to be here tonight. I know you guys' prayers, Palal, and concerns made a big difference in it, and along with my attitude towards it. And it's very, very comforting to know that you have people in your corner that hold a position with the Most High, and not only that, but we have individuals that have integrity, and I really appreciate that, being insulated by such grand people such as yourselves. But can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. So there was something that you guys touched on twice, and I just want to talk on it just a little bit. Kind of tired, so I'm probably gonna not be on this long tonight. But nevertheless, you all talked about relationships and how sex plays a major factor in relationships, and I believe it is a key essential to it, because we are creatures of emotion, and we deal with our five senses, whether it be taste, touch, smell, the five faculties that we have. And then when in a relationship, being intimate is essential, but it can't overshadow or overlaps what the relationship was constructed on. And I believe that is two individuals infusing their lives to accomplish a common goal, and whatever goal that is should be the bonding agency that keeps that marriage together. And you have X factors that we don't expect, health issues such as and just life in general. But it takes a very, very strong mind to be able to be committed to a cause and stick with it, because everybody's looking for a reason out. As Ross Smith said a lot, we're trying to get in. We're not trying to get out of nothing, And the problem is, if the wife burned the rice, that's no grounds for divorce. If the husband didn't mow the lawn, they want a divorce. They went out and cheated. And it's just lame excuses that people use to get out of commitment. And, and then a lot of times, women and men as well, men typically use their money to weaponize themselves to obtain sexual favors from their partners, their wives. And women, they use their bodies, to weaponize themselves, to use leverage for the male. So I believe that we all have done it, or we do it, or have thought about doing it, withholding, certain resources or whatever it may be, and to be quite honest, we're humans, and so no one wants to be denied, especially with someone that they care for. I know a lot of the time when my wife and I, when we copulate, sometimes it's not because she wants to, it's just to satisfy my need at that moment. And then we will have a short discussion, and if she's consenting and I don't see any telltale signs as though she's not really into it, then we'll proceed on. But if that's not the case, I don't typically want to force her into doing anything she's not willing to do. Along with myself, I don't want her to feel as though she's forcing me to engage with her. So being intimate and sexual is we can't discount it, because it's very, very it's pleasurable. The Most High wouldn't have gave us that activity if it was not something to be utilized. But with all things, you have to use it in moderation. You have to be responsible in doing so, because you have some people that are not responsible when it comes to sex. Just be honest. They try all these weird things and they want to do this and they do that. Then that's when the red flags come up. That's when you got to start checking, like, hey, what type of environment are you around? What are you watching? Who are you talking to? Like my wife, she doesn't talk to all like single women and street runners and all of that, because of the life we live. But outside influence play a major role on why couples have sex and they don't, and that's just the reality of it all. But another issue you guys touched on too is about the structure of the family. Everybody needs to go back to orientation and to find out what their roles are as being what a family is consisted of. One husband, one father figure, one mother figure, and children, if you have extended families, aunts and uncles. But everyone has to play their role and not overextend their boundaries. A lot of the times, men, women, and children they step over their boundaries, and then that causes for a toxic relationship. Would you agree, Resident Joe?
Definitely. I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, and so last but not least, this is something I wanted to ask you guys on. I was looking at a news feed about these ghost guns. Are you familiar with ghost guns?
Ghost guns?
Yeah, what they
Okay.
are, they're okay in the wake of these shootings that we just had, and my heart goes out to the victims. But they're finding out that a lot of these guns are not registered firearms, but there are a lot of people that are building their own guns, and they're called ghost guns, but 3D printers.
Oh,
Oh,
Right.
wow.
Right. And so my fear is that for the so-called black and brown community, it's going to be another tool to demonize us if we were to go onto these websites and to start looking into just browse searching. I believe that there's going to be some type of legislative racism that's going to play, if not already play a part in that, because in the wake of all these shootings, a lot of this has to do with mental health. And would you agree again with that, Dr. Joe?
part of it.
Mental health. Yeah, and then again, like you had on the panel last week, some people are just flat out evil,
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, but with that being said, these ghost gun manufacturers, what they're doing, they have 3D printers and they buy parts. They're not registered. They don't have serial numbers, and they've confiscated, I think, like 12,000 of these weapons, and for over a little under 500 of these weapons have been used in crimes. So my problem is with that is if we begin to exercise our Second Amendment right, but then being in the black and brown community, if we go onto these sites and begin to start constructing our own weapons for home defense and self-defense, will we be red flagged as being some type of, uprising that you have, because it's all right for our counterparts to do it because they hold these gun shows, they do all of these other different things, and it's glorified. But then when we begin to start investigating and looking into these things, then the bar is raised, and that's just my concern on that, because I came to find out that the gun that the young man purchased in the goodness gracious, in the Buffalo shooting, his father actually played a part in the purchasing of that weapon that killed the 10 people and injured 3. He was just not charged with 10 counts of first-degree murder, 10 counts of second-degree murder, 3 counts of attempted murder, and they're still pushing this mental health. But then when it comes to us, which we just found out in Tulsa, Oklahoma shooting, that it was a African American descent, as they would call it, that shot and killed, I believe, 4 individuals. And now, will mental health play a part in this, or will it just be?
Hey, I'm getting some feedback. Y'all hearing that feedback?
Is it his phone? Is it his phone? Or is it my phone? Can y'all hear? Yeah, your phone started kind of like it was reverbing or something.
It was mine.
Everybody else was listening. I think until this time, nephew E needs to stay muted.
Oh yeah, we got nephew E just joined in. What's going on with your nephew?
Family.
Hey,
Yeah.
Welcome.
What's going on?
All right.
What's going on?
That's what I'm talking about. Nephew E, good to see you. Yeah, hiding over there in the dog.
Yeah, I'm not at home, so
that's true.
turn my light on.
Why not? No, not.
On my phone.
What's going on?
What's going on? How y'all doing, family?
We're doing great, doing great.
Doing good.
That's it. Going on.
It's a pleasure to meet you, by the way, nephew E.
Oh, same to you, my brother. Same to you. How you doing?
Yes, sir. I've gleaned a lot of valuable information from you over the time.
Oh, yeah.
On the audio.
Can everybody hear clear?
A face and a voice.
It sounds a little distorted to me. Is it distorted or just on my end?
It is.
Hey, nephew E, could you make sure that your microphone is it any reverb on your end?
Yeah, it's going. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
You can hear me? Okay.
It's still distorted.
I hear an echo. I don't know if some of y'all got like a speakerphone or something.
Or maybe
In the background.
in the background, and at the same time.
Okay. Well, I think he in the process of getting all this stuff situated. We're gonna let him get his stuff situated.
Yeah, finish. Yeah, and that Confederate State 48 finish what you were saying. We apologize on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
That was
No
nephew
worries.
E. Yeah.
I was just expressing the concerns about the so-called Negro population
Yeah.
when it affects us in terms of trying to research out these manufactured guns for home protection and gun education, and that if we tend to begin to start looking into this and begin to learn the culture of these manufactured guns, that we don't be demonized in doing so opposed to our counterparts. Because I don't know what the statistics are, but I'm quite sure and confident I can make this statement and say that our counterparts, they provide more detriment in terms of having guns and perpetuating crimes than the so-called African American. We're just the victims of the crimes mostly. And then when we do something that is frowned upon, then we're...
Hey, nephew E, it's your microphone is providing that feedback. So what we're doing is we're putting you on mute right now until he finishes talking.
Go ahead.
And so I believe that what's happening is that when we do such a crime as such as Tulsa, Oklahoma, what scale will we be judged on opposed to the two shootings that just happened prior to this one? The one in Uvalde, Texas, and at the Robb Elementary School, and then the one at Tops grocery store. One was perpetuated by Caucasian, the other one being one of Latin descent, being a Mexican, and now this one being of African American descent. So we have three ethnicities that committed similar crimes, and I want to try to find out which one of these crimes will actually be looked at as being top tier, and then which one would be, a little less, scrutinized. But I believe all three should get equal attention. But when it comes to mental health, we have a valid claim on why we suffer the way we do. For 400 years of slavery, Jim Crow, up into the war on drugs, onto the Tuskegee Airmen experiment, Planned Parenthood, and the list goes on. So we have a lot more to fight through, and to see the scale of these crimes perpetuated by African Americans, I believe it's just a drop in the bucket compared to our counterparts.
Without a doubt, I can agree with you on that one. I was just talking Wednesday night when I was talking to the adult congregation. I was telling them how, I knew that it was going to be a so-called quote-unquote black shooting. I said it'd be just like a Manchurian candidate. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's never anything that's going to go, because they know all eyes are on them and their kids. I don't buy into the psychosis of the mental illness with everybody. When I was growing up, the only time we considered mental illness wasn't a discussion. Not saying that people didn't have it, but it was more of a control issue where people struggle and battle with things. They didn't go and get help, but they still work through it. Today, I think a lot of times people use it as a cop-out. I mean, when we look at we knew about mentally retarded. And these were people like, what they're trying to say mentally ill for what they're doing is basically, to me, is saying I'm retarded. So I wasn't in control of what I was doing, but you knew how to get a gun. You knew how to load a gun. You know how to properly dispense the gun and injure and kill people. You know how to lock doors and trap people in. So you don't have a mental illness. You just have a matter of discipline and your lack of discipline, and we're not going to accept and buy into the hype of I have a mental illness after I kill everybody. Why you didn't have a mental illness that wouldn't allow you to kill people? Why you didn't have a mental illness that when you went to load the gun, you loaded and pointed at yourself and shot yourself, you never even start on your so-called rendezvous adventure? Every time they have an illness or mental illness or some type of mental problem, it's always after other people are hurt, never them. So I think they bought into something to use it as a cover-up. And, you know, now the so-called Negro is following the same pattern, and he don't have the same rituals and rights. You can't ever be an American. You can always be a victim of America. Like you were naming all the different illness and different things that have happened with us. We've only been affected by America. We've never got any of the rewards of America, the privileges of America, the benefits of America. We've only benefited America. You know, we acknowledge and we actually gave them accolades because of their privileges. So we've never, so, you know, periodically when you see their kids, when they go and get these guns and they do what they do, it is because you have to go back and look at the home foundation. You have to look back at just what's been innated in them, you know, since the time we, you know, came into contact with them. You know, whenever there's a lack of for them, or whenever there's depletion, they always take from others. They're so-called, you know, there'll be void or discovery was accident. Now the discovery was to come to take the golds and riches from Africa. And when they got there, they saw they could take more than just loot the place. You also looted of his people. So now you have knowledge. So now look at how do we come back and reclaim ourselves and our identity and put ourselves back and look at we're not going to, like you said, whenever they get hurt, whether it's one, if it's white on white or one of us come behind it later, it's going to hurt us in some type of fashion. So I definitely appreciate the comments on what you were saying. And it's time for us to sit down and get like having these conversations, then solutions. Because we've conversated for how many thousands of years here, you know, and, you know, hundreds of years here. And we've been talking and talking. It's time to come out with an initiative, a plan, and then have an initiative to make sure we accomplish that goal, that plan, regardless of the outside media hype they show. They won't show all of the killings of us. You know, they won't show all the detriments that happen to us, but you'll make your white issue the problem of every.
Tony, your phone just went out, Tony. Couldn't hear what you were saying, Tony.
Yes, sir.
His phone
Your
just
phone just went out. Ross Smith. Your phone went out.
Yeah, if Tony talking, we can't hear what he's saying.
We can hear you, love doctor.
Oh, y'all can't hear me. Okay, no, I was just saying.
My phone went out.
Okay.
Yeah. We got Mike Lowry in the queue. Mike, we're gonna come to you, and you also gonna come to Nephew E in a little bit. But yeah, Tony's back. You go ahead. What you saying now, Tony?
Yes, sir.
Oh no, my phone. I don't know what it did. It kind of went, came back. I don't know what happened. It's like the show muted on me. Probably just my earpiece. I switched to another earpiece, so I guess it's got problems too. I say you said we got Mike Lowry there too.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
What's going on there, Mike?
Trying to get my earbuds together.
Okay.
What's up?
What's going on?
How y'all doing?
All right.
Doing good. How are you?
We're doing great. How about yourself?
I get my headphones together. Give me 1 second.
All right. Well, while you getting that together, we coming back. We got Nephew E on here also. So let's come back to Nephew E. I know we had some issues with Nephew E and his microphone. We hoping that Nephew E, you able to get that microphone back up. Let's try it again, Nephew. Unmute yourself.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How y'all doing?
Hey.
We making it. All right. That's good. Just want to say hello. Finally got in. Trying to get in. Oh yeah, I've been trying to get in since last week.
Okay.
So I finally got in and blocked my mic and my camera, so I'm on my phone. So, you know, I hope I can, y'all can hear me, y'all can see me.
We can see you. We can see you.
Gotcha.
Now, nephew, you from Texas? He's from Texas.
Yeah.
So, so what's the altitude in Texas? I know what's it, Uvalde? Well, I can't pronounce it. What is it? The name of the city? But how's it affected the rest of Texas, or has it?
It's a little shockwave. I think that's like here in Texas. That's like the second school shooting. The other one was down. Actually, I was down there today, delivering down there by a place called Galveston. And between Galveston, they had that school shooting. I think it happened in 2016 in Hitchcock County down there, where they had another mass shooting down here in Texas. So that's like our second school shooting down here in Texas alone. By that one being the first elementary school. This one, the one down there in 2016, was high school. So it's in a shockwave through here. You know, a lot of people they're getting nervous about sending their kids to school now, back to school. A lot of people they just, because down here is you can pack your gun down here, but a lot of teachers they kind of like they don't want to go back.
Oh wow!
They're afraid, and I was telling a group of guys that a teacher had complained about teachers getting guns to carry in the school. Why they went to the board and went to the Congress, or tried to get the board to go to Congress to get teachers to pack their guns in class, for this situation. And it's a hard thing to see somebody in the school shooting, and your whole intentions to protect those children, including yourself. So you got somebody outside with an automatic rifle, and you got kids, and you barricaded in, and you don't know where to go if you're on top floor or first floor, second floor. So your whole objective is the children. You understand what I'm saying? And that's a scary feeling. Real scary feeling. So a lot of people down here, they really shook up. I pass through that little city, that little town all the time, but I never know, that happened there. But it happened down here in 2016. It was in the high school. Yeah, in high school, it's real bad. Right. I try to tell people about guns. Everybody down here is afraid of guns. Most people are not, but most of them are, because they never had them, never been around them, never seen them. They see them, they hear about them, but they don't. Most people, they're afraid of guns. Most people I've been around, they don't have them. That's what needs to be taught. The fear needs to be stripped. If you strip the fear, then people are, they'll get a hold to them, but they're afraid of them.
If I might add, nephew E,
go ahead.
It's very ironic that you would say that. We, as being African American, Black people of color, Black and brown community, for many, many years, it was embedded in us by our oppressors to have guns, due to the indoctrination of to take it on the left cheek and turn the other cheek doctrine. So therefore, it was always told to us the Lord would fight our battles, and it was always that we're going to love the hell out of people, and that we were going to just be the passive individuals that were going to show the aggressors that we could overcome you with your weapons of mass destruction. But unfortunately, this is not the case, and that put us farther and farther behind through education, because guns were demonized to be in the Black home. I knew we grew up, my grandfather would have a shotgun under the bed, and it was like for hunting, but we had some form of home protection, and we knew that it was off limits, and we knew what it was actually for. It was for a purpose. It was not something that you went around and brandished around in the neighborhood, and half the time people never knew you had a weapon until it was time for you to actually utilize it. But now we're so far behind in education of weapons that unfortunately we're afraid of them, and then when we do have a weapon, now we're the target of law enforcement as though we could be killed if we show a weapon. But I remember watching a news feed when a white guy walked down the street with a AR-15, just walked down the street. No one stopped him. No one said anything to him. The police didn't stop him because he understood his rights and through white privilege. If you or I try that in the same city, we're guaranteed to be stopped. There's a greater chance of us being killed or confronted by law enforcement or some type of so-called white vigilante that's going to try to eradicate the so-called Negro that does not know how to behave with a firearm.
Yep. That's right.
That's the biggest downfall in our destruction, is that we've been taught to not arm ourselves, and like you say, pray about it, and love and care about people when they come to demonize us. That's the biggest destruction in our people. Now, I told my wife, because I always keep my gun on me, and she's afraid of guns. I say, well, you shouldn't be afraid of a gun. You should be afraid of the person that's using the gun.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That guy. And I was telling other guys, I was like, it's the person behind the gun that's dangerous when they come use it in the wrong way. Everybody that has a gun don't have a heart to use it in the wrong way. Unfortunately, this guy, he had the mind of a killer, because he was a killer. Right. And those guys like that need to be stopped. I heard he was confronted at the front door by a security guard. I don't know if the security guard saw him or saw what he had or searched him, whatever, but he should have known something was up, that a kid that age coming up to a elementary school, you should have seen that outside and understand you ain't supposed to be up here. Something wrong. He should have been stopped and killed right there. But it's like you say, it's just the opening that we give these people when they do stuff like that, and the people that's in charge don't see these kind of signs and symbols, but they see them on us. You know what I mean? When we're not even showing them, or when we don't even have anything, they stop us at just off of the thought of their mind. You look suspicious. You understand what I'm saying? A kid that's 18, 19 years old coming up to elementary school. You understand what I'm saying? You got no child with you to drop off. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got nothing in your hand for delivery. You walking something, he should have been stopped. But if that me and you walk up to that schoolhouse and we coming up there to get some direction somewhere, and we'd have been taken down.
Yeah,
and that's bad. But we really got to get back into the teaching of everything. I was talking about the marriage situation, and we talked about it a lot previously. The marriage thing is really, really going left, because, like I say, entertainment, society is dictating everything, and that's what's making it bad, especially for the new generation coming up. The new generation, they have no care, sense of love, because look what they're doing out here in the world. It's easy to get anything now. You know what I mean? Just that simple. And it's not like I grew up I was born in the 80s, but I grew up in the 90s. You took a woman out back in those days, if you weren't even talking about marriage, they didn't even go out on a date with you. You understand what I'm saying? If you weren't talking about full commitment back then, man, they didn't go out with you. They didn't talk to you. You weren't even getting the conversation. But now, shoot, man, you got guys and women going out in groups. You got one man with 5 girls. You know what I'm saying? And it's stupid, because women will sit there and involve themselves in polygamy. They'll involve themselves in dating and triple dating and all this other stuff, this new stuff that they're doing. Speed dating, and you got this other stuff that's going on around here. It's just it has nothing about commitment. Commitment is no more nowhere, and when there's no commitment, then the marriage gonna be bad. Husband and wives, they don't bond no more. They bond back in the day. When you was coming up in school, and you was coming up at that time where we didn't have all this stuff with social media and with the cell phone, when you just had a regular phone. You were more in love back then than you are now. and we're older. You understand what I'm saying? But back then it was more. You had to work for it. Now it's just too easy, and it's making the men and the women, not really want each other. You know what I'm saying? They want everything else with the new body look. Everybody making up their bodies now. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even want a woman with a fake body. You understand what I'm saying? This new boob job and the booty job, the this and the makeup and the eyelashes. Just everybody looked the same. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody back then, you had a variety. It was real and real, but it ain't real no more because everything is just simple and easy now. You can get anything now. You walk out that door.
Everything's run off of a template now, also too. In my opinion.
Yeah. It's really a teaching thing, and like I said, I got mine from. I was lucky, to see two people come up and show me how it's done. To be together and stay together and work together and stuff like that. My wife, she's kind of off with that, because she didn't have it. So, but now it's just it's bad, and the people that do have it, they don't want to listen to us. That's old school. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing old about love. Love been here before you even existed. So but I just think that it can go back to what it is if people just could put their mind toward the right thing. You know what I'm saying? And you wouldn't have no problem. But they don't want to do that. They want to do everything else, and that's what's making everything bad. Especially with the homosexuality. That's killing everything. That's killing everything badly. And especially with these, people, these girls going out with each other, and men going out with each other. What a group of 15 women going out with each other to do what? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's hey, I didn't see that back then.
Then when I try to put it on her, it's nothing.
Yeah, I never saw that back growing up, man. 10, 20 women going out together. So, I just, we just got to tell them like it is. That way they can know.
Agreed. Dr. Joe, may I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course.
It's in regards to, and then I want to touch on the thing with you, Ms. Tula, if I would. As we were just talking about the gun legislation and the demon, I think nephew probably.
How do you turn those on?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, clear. Yeah, you clear. That's really clear.
So what I wanted to ask you is, by us being racially profiled in every aspect of life, whether it be financially in the financial institution, whether it be with these gun laws. And,
I'm sorry, Confederate. I'm trying to on Mike. If you can mute the mic.
Mute the mic.
I actually love
Dr. We can hear you.
Please.
My bad.
No, it's
not you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so as it pertains to like racial profiling, whether it be through the banking institutions, different entities for that matter, gun legislation, like how does that play, in your opinion, how does that play a role in mental health? Because when you get so many doors shut in your face, or you're being ostracized on every front, what does that do to the psyche in terms of how do you navigate through society with confidence?
It's very difficult, to be honest. I'm the kind of therapist that works with trying to reverse the mentality of our people, because society has put in our mind that we are special kind of people. But I also encourage people not to always focus on that mental illness, because that's what they want us to do, to stop us from growing. But it does play a big part into where self-esteem is low. We feel, a lot of African Americans feel that they're done with the fighting, right? It's been years. And it is a mental war going on regarding that matter. But I like to focus on the society wants us to be in that place where, you guys are this, you guys are, delinquents, or you guys. So I want to destroy that and say, yeah, this is what society wants us to think. but you guys can do more than that. But it's very difficult. I mean, I do understand your points. It's very difficult to stand out or succeed in life with everything we've been through, or you guys been through for years. So I think, but in my mentality, I think that's what this society is trying to do to you guys, is destroy you guys mentally, to keep you guys down and from not growing. So I can tell you, yes, Confederate, this society has made you guys beat you down to the point that you guys can't stand up and walk and get where you're supposed to get. I can tell you that, but I prefer to tell you that this is what society is trying to do. So let's try to see it in another point of view, and to, yes, we have been through so much, and I'm speaking with you guys. Yeah, we have been through so much, and it is difficult. It is. But if we stay in that position, we're giving them the satisfaction of what they want us to think. That's how they keep us destroyed. That's how they keep us down from succeeding. So it is difficult, but I do want to encourage that it is possible to be successful. It is extremely difficult, right? We're carrying weights, and it's a lot harder than the white community, right? Or another community. It's a lot difficult for you guys because of what you've been through. But I want to encourage more than put down or emphasize or focus into what I feel they want us to focus on.
Right.
I do really think what they're trying to do is destroy you guys mentally, right? You guys are this. You guys are. So I don't want to focus on that. But it is very difficult. It is doable if you guys focus and try to do what you can do. And how Tony always says, focus on building yourself. Be real with yourself, because at the end of the day, this is not going to stop. It's going to keep on going. Social media, the news, is focusing on the Black community and to the negativity. But then again, if we keep on focusing on that, we're never going to be something. So I do agree. It is extremely difficult. It touches depression, anxieties. It touches other mental illnesses. But it is possible to succeed even within that situation if we do support each other and we do focus on ourselves and trying to build ourselves up. But it is.
With that being said, Ms. Tooley, this question is for you, ma'am. Okay, as we already know, and this I'm alluding to what Love Doctor had put in my vocabulary, my repertoire, if you will. Legislative racism.
That's right. That's right.
It's not ironic that we have Juneteenth coming up, and that's associated with the LGBTQ, whatever the acronym is for the gay society. So what I'm trying to figure out, which I know is a strategic plan by our oppressor, if, in my opinion, that they strategically place Gay Pride Month and coupled it with Juneteenth, which is supposed to be the official holiday for the so-called Negro, and then the capitalist Walmart using Juneteenth ice cream to try to promote June. I mean, it's egregious to say the least. But what are your thoughts on how they're trying to push the gay agenda and couple it with Mental Health Month as well as Juneteenth, for supposed to be the liberation of the so-called Negro back in 1869, which was supposed to have been 1865, but Texas was the last state to gain emancipation. They only got it 9 years later. So what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that Juneteenth was here first, and I just think that because when they probably started the Gay Pride, we weren't talking about Juneteenth. I mean, just so recently, a few years we talked about it, but I didn't even know anything about it before a few years ago. So I think they just took that month because we weren't doing the Juneteenth. A lot of people weren't. So we just got started doing that because of everything that was going on. I think the shootings, things like that kind of woke us back up with that. Some people back up with that. So I think that's why they chose that month. I'm not sure. I don't think it has any correlation with trying to block something that we're having. I mean, I could be naive to think that it's not, but I don't see that. I don't think so.
Or I think what I'm trying to say, I'm thinking they're trying to associate the gay community
Always.
with the African American lifestyle. Is what that's what I was kind of alluding to. As that okay? Because since Obama was in office, he's the president known. Sure, he was known for stimulating the economy. What his legacy is that he signed off that your daughter has to share the bathroom with a little boy that says he wants to be a girl that day. He's known for this. He is the president that signed off on gay marriages, and for it to be Juneteenth being associated with the Gay Pride Month, I believe that it was strategic, and it was not just by coincidence.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of people did not know what was going on, I think there was an undercurrent, underlying issue, what they were trying to do to kind of grandize, the detriment of the so-called Negro. Why did they not do this Juneteenth and associate it with the Black Lives movement after the murder of Trayvon Martin? They could have coupled that with anything, but they coupled it with Gay Pride, Juneteenth, all of this, and Mental Health Month, all in the same. And we're the main benefactors, they're saying, of all of these things. They say we're the biggest proponent of same-sex marriages in the gay community. They say there's more gay blacks now statistically, which that's not true. They actually, in my opinion, introduced us to homosexuality, because in our community it was frowned upon. It would have been a hate crime back in our day, because we beat homosexuals up. I mean, I'm just being honest about it, but now it's embraced in an alarming rate. So when you couple June 16th, right, Mental Health Month, and LGBTQ month, all of this associates with the Black community, and that alone is challenging mentally in itself. Being a heterosexual man that believes that the union between one man, one woman is what was constructed from the beginning of time.
Yeah, I do agree with you, Confederate. I think it's an agenda with it. It's always been trying to compare the Black community with the LGBTQ community, and within the Black community fought for liberty for so long. So why can't we do it? And it's been about, like, it angers me that they try to always compare it when it's, this is a race and this is a group of people. It's completely different. And I've always seen that happening. And I think is also targeting the minds of people, kind of, to accept certain things. Well, they're suffering just like you suffering, so let's accept these people as much as we're accepting these other people. So yeah, I find it very, very strange, and it angers me. It did when I saw that. It just upsetting. It's been happening for a while now.
Yeah, and then they throw in this. I forgot to say the caveat is this, and we're the main carrier of HIV and AIDS, and the less educated, and all of this stuff is within the same month span. They've compacted all of our detriments into one package, consolidated it, right? And then they tell us, okay, you guys are the perpetuators of HIV and AIDS, gang violence, okay, homosexuality, Black Lives Movement, which is a terrorist organization, and all of these things here. When I just sat back and watched the segment with the CEO of Black Lives Matter that got a $6 million home in California, they were through contributions and donations. But why couldn't she have that? I mean, but when she did a press conference, she said the only reason that no one wants to take to be a spokesman or a person, a public figure, is because of the scrutiny and all the backlash they would have to endure. So they do it as a coalition, so that you can't just pinpoint one individual, because that's what our operatives do. They get a leader such as Robert Smith. You see what they did to him? They shadow banned him. Do y'all remember that? When they shadow banned him? Do y'all remember when they shadow banned him on Twitter? When he made a comment? But then when his counterpart did it, they got no recourse of action.
Yeah.
You see, he went from thousands of views to barely 1,000 views, and I know that's not accurate. And so these people are targeting us, especially people that have astute positions in our community, such as Miss Tooley, Smith, you Resident Joe, Two Minds and a Mic, The Way of Yah. Okay, these platforms are educating not only our people, but people of all colors. If it was for what's right, hey, we come aboard. That's what we're about. We're trying to make change the right way. But as I said again, and I hate to kind of be repetitive and so abrasive right now, but I'm just a little upset, to say the least, because we see our condition. We know that they're strategically placing events and timelines to help us to accelerate our demise. And our people, unfortunately, are not waking up fast enough with all the resources, all the speakers, all the leaders that we have, and we're still not making that progress.
Unfortunate, but that's the society that we're in today. And, you know, and something has to change. You know, where I'm at now is, you know, talk about it. We all come to a consensus, and we all move into, we got to change it. You know, the system won't change itself. And the people that's, you know, that's oppressed of the system have to come up with an idea, and then they have to, you know, move forward to try to make that real change. So our conversations about it can be it needs to be our past. It's unfortunate that all of our conversations are about our past, which is our future. You know, and it should scare our people. You know, the struggle is real. White people don't say that. They don't sit around and talk about, you know, how they got to overcome the Revolutionary War. That war happened past. They got in many wars after, and it's remembered as a victory, even though it was a double loss. But for us, all of our wars are, you know, always, you know, to our demise and our destruction. And, you know, it's sad that today we still have the same conversation that people that are in our same color and attitude had, you know, hundreds of years back, you know, and it's scary. You know, that we won't ever go anywhere, no matter how good our broken conversation is. It's the fact of the effects that it won't allow us to. And if we do, they'll take it from us. And that should scare our people, that there will not be another leader that'll take that position, that won't have to go into so much heavy scrutiny from their own people, or even they'll, you know, have our own people set, you know, as a Manchurian candidate to kill them. You know, and when enough of us stand up and they realize there's not one head to cut off, then they'll realize we got to make a change. It has to be a real persistent move to, this is the line. We can't just be here and nothing stated on how far we won't go. We have to have in our minds, how far will we go to liberate ourselves? Right. You know, they'll celebrate Memorial Day is about them celebrating. They just said the great men and women who risked and sacrificed their life for the privileges that we all sit under today. Well, we got people, you know, and we have to be willing to look at the sacrifice that we'll make and we'll take is for people that will come after us and say, we have these freedoms, we have this right. We enjoy these things pleasurably because of the people that said, we won't be that generation that you'll hose us and put a dog on us and we'll run and we'll cry. We'll put a water hose back on you. We'll put the dog back on you because we're only out here for right. It's sad that people that stand up with a valid reason for their defense are always the people that have to knuckle down and stop and apologize and just be peaceful. But the people that are the aggressors, that are destroyers and the destructors of us, never take that same approach. Why don't they take a back seat? Why don't they sit back? Why don't they wait on the Lord? Why don't they wait on legislation? Why don't they just fight it at the polls? You know, right. They come out, you know, all the stuff they tell us, my oppressor doesn't do it. So I'm like, I refuse to listen to it at this point. It makes no sense. You tell it to him. Don't tell it to me. You tell it to him. I'm not the aggressor. Tell the aggressor. So, you know, I appreciate it. Appreciate y'all coming. I know Mike Lowry been sitting there waiting, and Nephew E too. But I'm so glad, you know, to be able to talk to you tonight too, Confederate.
Yeah, congratulations on that service. Glad all is well.
Definitely.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So
Thank
we,
you all.
and you know, we know you still recover. I see you got the mask. I'm sure they're trying to say make sure you don't get no infections or nothing
Yes, sir.
with it
Indeed.
going on. So you did definitely take care of yourself and
Yes, sir.
get strong and get better.
Yes, sir.
We need you. We need all our men. We
Yes,
need
sir.
all our women. You know, that's when we're gonna make a change.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
Appreciate you, Confederate 48.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Good
we
night,
definitely
folks.
appreciate you.
Your hobby.
Appreciate you. You get your rest. A hobby too. Yeah, we got nephew E. I see you, Mike. We got you right there, McLaren. Nephew fell out. What you had for us, nephew? Can you hear me, nephew?
Unmute your mic, nephew. All right.
Y'all can hear me now?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Gotcha. Now I was just enjoying the show, listening to the brother talk about the weapons and the guns, and how we've been so passive all this time, and how people don't take a heed to protecting themselves. You understand what I'm saying? Like you were saying, we so quick to pray for our oppressor and our people that come to destroy us. These people come to destroy and to kill and to hurt, and we sitting here, praying, laughing, and loving them when they coming for hate and kill. You understand what I'm saying? And they making guns seem to be a bad thing when they the one that's got them. You know what I'm saying? And we need to put guns in our people's hand and show them how to use them and hold them and look at them, and not to say that everybody that has a gun don't have it for the wrong reason. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why our people are afraid of them. But they the one that told us that guns are bad. You people kill with guns, but you the one that's got the barrel turned on me or our people. You know what I'm saying? So and that's what we have to do. We have to do that because they singling us out on everything. I was telling them earlier about the guy that came to kill us at that schoolhouse. He should have been killed right there in the front of the schoolhouse. Our flag should have went up. These are professional people, that's sat in front of these schoolhouses and they allowed this guy to come in here and do what he did. He should have been stopped. He was already talking to him, but if that had been anybody besides him, it wouldn't even went that far. You understand what I'm saying? Because they already gonna judge you for your skin color, so you'd have been stopped in the street. They just saw you coming way back. You understand what I'm saying? But we have to get out of that love your enemy understanding. You understand what I'm saying? We gotta get out of that, and that's our biggest destruction. Is this love your enemy thing, and pray for your enemy and stuff like that. The enemy is the enemy, period. Even in the in the Bible, in the bar, the beginning of the book, when the serpent came and deceived the woman and made Adam them transgress, Elohim didn't pray for the serpent. He cursed him. And that's what it is. He cursed. He didn't pray for him because he came for no good. He deceived him. He deceived the woman. So these people coming for no good, and we sitting there praying for them. That's a bad thing. That's a bad mentality. You understand what I'm saying?
You know what's even worse? The fact that you pray for somebody who never listens to your prayer.
That's right. That's right.
They tell us to pray for him. He never asked us to pray for him. So it's like you offering help to somebody that don't want it. It'll happen on the street. You try to help somebody, they refuse to take it. They rather stay in their condition. So you realize, let me leave them alone. They don't want my help.
Nephew E, is something wrong with your mute? I mean, your volume. I don't know if you listen to us on the speaker, but we can actually hear an echo. So every time we talk, we can hear what we're saying, and it's an echo, and it bounces back continually. I don't know, maybe put on some headphones. What the sound is, Nephew E.
I took them off and put them back.
Okay.
You got it's reverb.
Can you hear reverb? Difficulties with Nephew E.
Oh, it's better now. He got it. I think he got it. It stopped. He got it. I think why he put it on mute, he was like he could hear better. But I think we take it off. It does it. Is it the earbuds? You got it straightened out now?
You still on mute.
You got the mute still on?
Is it still doing it?
You just right there and did it. Yeah, it's still doing it.
Hold
It's something that would have.
Hey, while you getting that fixed, let's go and bring on Mike Lowry.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, what's going on there, Mike? How you doing, buddy?
Hello,
Welcome to the show.
hello. Sorry about the technical difficulties. How's everybody doing tonight?
Yeah, Mike Lowry in the building. Mike Lowry, tell people, for people who don't know who Mike Lowry is, tell them where the name Mike Lowry come from.
Well, I don't put my real name out there in the virtual world, so that's why I stole that name. But I was calling in because I
all right. So for those who don't know, Mike Lowry is from Bad Boys.
Oh,
Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, Mike Lowry, Cool Mike Lowry. That's where that name comes from. It's Cool Mike Lowry. All those movie fans out there. What's going on, Mike Lowry?
Not much. I was calling in to respectfully disagree with Confederate 88 or whatever
40.
it was. 48, my bad. When he was talking about the ghost gun thing, that's something that Biden threw out that term. So for somebody to make what they call a ghost gun, it takes manufacturing. You got to have a 3D printer. You have to be meticulous in building it. You got to have the right materials. It's actually way more work than it is to break in somebody's house and steal a gun. Most crimes is done with stolen guns from people not securing their weapons in their house or their car. And these teenagers get a hold to them, and then it's just pretty much a run. They run with it. Most people don't own 3D printers to even print the gun. So he was talking about looking up the information online. I used to be pretty fearful of that kind of stuff too, but then I started to realize how much white people are actually doing this kind of stuff. And then I realized they really don't have time to single out one black person who looks it up. And I didn't actually learn a lot of my gun information until I got around white people, and I learned a lot of this stuff is legal. We just don't know that it's legal. When I first moved here to Missouri from Tulsa, Oklahoma, I thought owning AR-15s was illegal. And then the price was so ridiculous, $800 to $1,200, I couldn't afford it. And so one of the engineers told me, build it yourself. I never even known that you could build an AR-15. My mind was blown. You can literally buy the parts little by little and put it together yourself. And it's way cheaper. It cuts the price. And that's how white people do it. They just build them themselves.
Whoa, so they actually know how to build guns? Wow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's not hard. It is not hard at all. When I say building them, there's literally a website you can go to. You buy the lower, you buy the internal parts, and you put it together like a puzzle. It's not hard at all. And the common street dude is not doing this stuff. Right. They're just stealing them from regular, normal people that work. They break in your house. If the gun's not secure, you just pretty much gave that gun to somebody to go and commit a crime with. But the ghost guns, they are not registered in any way. There's no way to track them. So that's why they get the term ghost gun, because legally, whenever you go to buy it, can you guys still hear me, see me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the reason why they call them ghost gun, because there is no serial number. I can go in the store right now, my local gun shop, and buy one of those completely stripped lowers like it's a loaf of bread. I don't have to do a background check at all. I can get on another website and I can order every piece that goes into that lower, and I can build myself a Glock at home. Now, you're not supposed to sell that gun to anybody. It's supposed to be yours for the rest of your life, because here in America, under the Constitution, you can legally make your own firearms. So that's where they get that, where it's legal for us to make our own firearms. Now, there's nothing stopping me personally from taking that gun after I made it and giving it to Dwayne, or selling it. Oh, my bad. Selling it to him, and nobody's going to know about it because it doesn't exist. There's no serial number. So that's where that term, the ghost gun, comes from. They do it with pistols, and they also do it with AR-15s, the lowers. But when you make it yourself, if you don't use the right material, that gun can break apart in your hand. It's just not safe.
Wow.
That's good to know, because a lot of us didn't know how deep the rabbit hole went on the ghost guns.
Yeah, they just say that.
And a lot of information is what, and then it's the fact that when we don't know, then we're left to their media. We know a lot of their media has fluff in it too, but we try to take it from what they say. they said that this amount meant they say that this is so. We kind of become reciters of these people's stuff without having people like we're doing now coming together. People, such as yourself and others on the show and other listeners we got in here as well with us. I mean, that's what we do. We put this information in so we can dispel the lies, and then the truth can come forward. Because, like you said, these people that are doing these shootings are not. And then the thing about it, people look at it's not gang members. These gang members that shoot, ride, shooting up. This is not all gang members. These are police. These are other people that they actually have. White people that put on that black skin, go out because they've been doing the black face for years, and you go out and you create a shooting. Now, of course, they look at. And then you leave some evidence to make it look like it was the Crips in the blood neighborhood, so the blood naturally gonna retaliate back. Now you catch real bloods, so you say we got a gang problem out of here. We got to shut these gangs down. We got to get people to turn their guns. They create a lot of these hype. Notice when they come up, churches on Sunday, they're gonna have baskets telling them they're taking up guns. We need to get them off the street. Our baby's being killed, and you want to own a gun. So people that legally own guns and have their protection are going to break down because of the mental illness that's given out through the psychosis of their preaching, and they're going to give up those guns. And guess who they're going to give them to? To people that have guns.
Yep.
Non-gun owners are not going to have those guns. They're going to give those guns to gun owners who are going to have those guns. They're going to run them back through their system. They're going to have them. When they make their decision that we're going to move in on the people because we de-weaponize so many of them now, they don't have a fight. And the reason why people don't know in the Constitution, the big fight about the right to bear arms is so argumentative because the founding fathers actually intended for the people to have guns. That was a problem they had in England. Without guns, you don't have a voice. That's a lie. Go to the poll. That's not the truth. They had guns to have their voice. That's when England decided to come over and they were going to fight the Revolutionary War. They did not sit down and have a non-gun war. They had guns, and that's what they used to fight to defend what they felt were their rights and liberties they were establishing with the Constitution. So militias, like in Michigan, people don't know it's the biggest state of militias, Michigan. And the reason why that's actually had Paul Revere, all this, but they were militias. They were not military. People think that they were the part of the army. They were not. They were militias. And they were 5 minutes, they can be ready. The Minutemen. They were a minute, they can be ready. And they with their weapons. They knew you had to have your weapons. And the friend was, the British are coming. The British are coming. Well, I'm telling you today that the children of the British are here. They're not coming. They're already here.
Already.
And we should have stopped it. So people do need to know that what rights you have. You don't have a right to go and shoot up innocent people, kids, doctors, or just walk in a hospital. You have a right to defend your house, your home, your family, and yourself. And they've taken that from us. Whenever we've started to defend ourselves, they said, no, that's not the way to do it. You let the law handle it. When the law comes, the law looks like the person who was the lawbreaker. So now I'm confused. You telling me not to defend myself. I was attacked by somebody that looked like you. And now you come in and tell me not to fight back, and you take and you're going to handle it. So I'm watching. The fox is not only guarding the hen house, the fox is executing himself, which makes no sense. He eats the same chicken.
That's true. That's true. They got to realize those gun laws, whenever laws are not made for law abiding. I mean, the laws are for people who are going to abide by the law. If I don't abide by the law, there's no law that you can create that's going to keep me from continuing to do whatever it is I'm doing. So when it comes to guns and all these different criteria that they're placing, it's kind of like people used to always say, locks on doors are made for people who are honest. If I'm a dishonest person, a lock on the door is not going to deter me or distract me from what it is I'm doing. It's the same thing with more and more of these gun laws. They're just making it more and more critical on people who are choosing to obey the laws, but it's having no effect at all on those who choose to break it and not abide by it to begin with. So I appreciate that information that you spreading out there, Mike Lowry. You dropping some jewels, you dropping some dimes, Mike Lowry.
I got one more thing for you.
Sure.
Go ahead.
The shooting in Tulsa, surprisingly to me, it was actually a black man.
Right.
When I heard about that, I was mind blown. I never would have imagined that. In Tulsa, it's pretty segregated, and where that shooting happened was actually on the south side of town, where it's majority white people. And it was a black man who actually went in there after another black man And so that's the only thing that made sense, because everybody knows you don't put your hands on white people in Tulsa, they'll burn the city down all over again. So it kind of made sense to me. Yes, sir.
Think about this. With it happening in Tulsa, him shooting white doctors, and they saying they want to quit. Don't you think it's a whole narrative here? Now that takes the focus off of other things that they're doing, and the focus become the blacks in Tulsa getting out of hand and killing white people. And white people they're not gonna wait on no voting booth in November and no candidate. They're not gonna wait on the police to come and see what they say. They are the police. They'll make their laws. Whatever they do, they can get it. They've taken a city, and the sad part is when they tell you, when I beat you completely down, then I'll let you look at all the evidence to show you how the whole thing was staged and set up, that a black man touched this white woman and had this conversation. And it was known that same black man and white woman actually went and got married. The white woman that complained about look it up. They did. Yeah. They went off and got married. Wow. So you got to ask them, look it up while I'm talking. The woman that accused the man on the elevator in Tulsa, the whole Tulsa, they actually went off and got married.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
So you ask yourself, what was their real agenda? Manchurian candidates. You bring these people in, you create this hype, and you make now the white folks are justified. I told the people on Wednesday night, they justify their hate. They want to acknowledge you as a human being. They'll call you a black nigga. They're not going to call you a black nigga man or black nigga woman, because it's something that I'm saying that's going to kind of hyphenate itself. So I am admitting that you're human. I'm just call you a black dirty nigga. You black dirty nigga whore. So that's how you justify yourself when you kill them, because I killed a real human being. So we can't wait on them to create the conversation for us or create the titling for ourselves. We have to define ourselves. We know what's right. We know what's wrong.
Hey,
what's wrong is what's been happening.
Elaborate a little bit on the word Manchurian candidate. A lot of you use that word, but I don't know if a lot of people understand what is actually meant behind.
Well, a person that they'll take and they'll hypnotize, and you'll use them by certain verbiage or different language or symbols or sounds. And these people are unleashed, and they'll create this crime. Then they'll come back to themselves after. It's kind of like hypnosis. And what's happened to the so-called Negro? He has been hypnotized. He don't know he's been hypnotized. What if let me ask you to do something? Love Doctor. You hear me? Yes, bark like a dog. Bark like a dog. All right, try to fly. Take your arms and try to fly. All right, I'm gonna get up in the air and fly. All right, now go jump off the roof. So you stop, because you have a conscious mind to make a decision and realize now I can hurt myself. Mm-hmm. See, typically when you hypnotize a person, and the person, why people believe that they're hypnotized, because they'll get them to do something that's out of their character. And people say, wow, you hypnotized. They won't say, okay, you now hypnotized. Sit here and pay attention. You've now just been hypnotized. Do what's right. They're going to get you to do something outside of what you would normally do to show I have superiority over your mind at this time, your conscience. Mm-hmm. And after you pull a person back, then you allow them to come back. But so with us, we had never been woken up. We still been hypnotized.
That's true.
So now we do some of the things we're doing. People say, what's wrong with black people? We've been hypnotized. We're in a state where we're not in control. And that's why it's time for us to come out of it, come through. When I snap my fingers, you'll break the trance. See, it hadn't worked. So I got him to recognize he's been hypnotized. And he's not listening to who he needs to listen to. Mm. So when I say Manchurian candidate, these are people that they listen. When they show you this stuff, don't always. When they showed us the guy in New York, the quote unquote so-called Negro that went on the train to shoot the people up. The man went out. The man was going to McDonald's, walking down the street. You just got off a train shooting these people up, shooting them up, and you leave from here and you're going around here. And they catch you around a McDonald's and they can kill you. I saw when they arrested and they had the man looked like he was clueless to what was going on. But yet he had enough sense to sneak a gun, to go on here, get on the train, and start shooting these people. He had enough sense to leave. Why these people crazy don't have the sense? They so crazy they just sit there. Because all these people are not crazy. These people making conscious decisions, some of them when it comes to the white, but to the so-called Negro, he is unconscious. He's not aware of his situation. He's not aware of what's right or what's wrong.
Yep.
Because this oppressor had given him all his definitions for his words, for his religion, for his behavior, for his sexuality. Now I don't know what I am. It's hard to say. I could be either or. This is all hypnosis. No, it's like it's not conscionable that a person would sit here and say, "What tools do you have? What's connected on your body? What don't you have?" It's retarded for me to say I don't know what I am. I can be whatever I want to be. Stop it. It's foolishness.
So many of them.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Tell you what, though, I definitely appreciate that information that you called in for Mike Lowry. We do the technical difficulties calling up dropping, but we definitely
definitely appreciate it.
Nephew, E, was you able to get your microphone and everything, the echo resolved?
I hope so. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you good.
You good now? Yeah, you good.
Yeah, I had to go.
You good.
I had to go look at the manual again.
You never said it before you start on a catch note over there. The so-called Negro needs to do that. When you saw you had a problem in communication, you couldn't hear, and what you were saying couldn't be heard, you went back to the manual to see what was going wrong. The so-called Negro needs to learn his manual and go back and look at why are we having so much technical difficulties.
That's right. I go read the manual and go back to the front. I would like to correct something I said in the beginning. That school shooting was Santa Fe. That's what it was, Santa Fe down here. You know, I think it was 2016. Santa Fe school shooting. Yeah, it was Santa Fe. It's next to Hitchcock County down here, but it's a Santa Fe high school shooting that happened down here. Yeah. But no, it's been wonderful. You know, this podcast, this panel, it's been great. I've been, telling a lot of people about it. A lot of folks out there about Two Mics in the Mind. Don't talk about the synagogue all the time to people about Raha Smith and just how much of a light that y'all are, and people can call and get some things straight. Cause we try to get the people back together, especially the black household. No disrespect to you, Cub and Joe, but our people we've been off for too long. My wife, she was asking me about the guy that passed. I think the guy Kevin Samuel, who just passed a couple of weeks ago. She was asking me how I felt about him. I said, well, he was doing what and I say this very right. Try to say it very rightly, but I mean, Raha teach it all the time. But he say to women what the Christian preacher won't tell them. You understand what I'm saying? And that's their ways are bad. A lot. He get on the women, and that's the subject that a lot of these people won't talk about because the women generate the money for the preacher. You understand what I'm saying? And he cut on their behavior. He cut on their lifestyle. He cut on their morality from how they grew up, how they was raised, and your boy, what's his name? The preacher down there from Baltimore that's in Atlanta now. Yeah,
little short ugly joker, Jamal Bryant.
Yeah, Jamal Bryant. Yeah, false prophet Jamal Bryant. He called him out over there at Afterbirth and tried to clown him. You know what I mean? But you can tell that he was if you don't even know the guy for you to be talking about him anyway. But you can tell that he talk about, the women in their bad ways. And some of these preachers try to come validate it, try to make themselves look good because they don't tell the women that they're wrong. You understand what I'm saying? Not saying that, all women are wrong and some saying the men ain't wrong, but most of these female ways are ridiculous. You understand what I'm saying? He wasn't afraid to talk about it. He wasn't afraid to tell them. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't afraid to put them on a blast, let them know you can't do that. Some of y'all women, y'all break up y'all homes for nothing. What you doing is for nothing. And then he come back and apologize. What you apologize for? The man. I mean, the man dead and gone. If you wanted to say something to him, you should have said something to him then. When you first heard it. Don't try to go get yourself all cleared up and then want to come say, "Oh, I apologize." This here, but he was just trying to put the black household back together, and he was trying to straighten out the female, by doing it. But You know, it ain't nothing nothing that Raha don't never teach, you know, to our people. And he get on both ends, you know, with the man and the woman and the kids. You understand what I'm saying? So that's a big major thing. And you know, most the people that's in another race, they come from traditional living. You know, I talk to a lot of Hispanics and Indian culture, some white, you know, some Mexican people that I do see, and they say the same thing. You know, they get their upbringing from the mother, the grandmother, and the great grandmother. You understand what I'm saying? And they got all that in one. That's why that's why their families are so tight knit. You know, that's why their households are so tight knit. You know what I mean? And you know, one Indian lady told me, you know, they don't sit down and eat till they father sit at the table. You know, they stand up when he come in and sit at the table. That's how much respect they give him. You know, and I'm like, man. She's like, yeah, Mom. She said, my mom, she don't even walk in front of my father. Because then I think in some cultures, they don't disrespect the man like that by having a woman walk in front of him.
Like you're leading.
You know what I mean?
Not today.
Yeah, today, man, it's just, you know, women, they'll walk off and leave. You know, they don't care nothing about you. You know, that's that Oprah Winfrey era. So,
little tongue lashing.
But it was a sign of respect that, you know, that the woman had for the man. You know, to let the man know it wasn't about money. You know, it wasn't about that, because what was his was hers, and what was hers was his. Everything was just about respect. And it showed the woman how to respect the man. It showed the man how to respect the woman. And I talk with those, you know, I just asked a lot of questions, and they told me and say we don't, the house don't move without the man. You know what I mean? So, but now these days, now with this independency thing, we have to stop that. You know, this independent. Oh, I'm independent. How you gonna be independent in the family? You know, how you gonna be independent without the man? You need the man. The man needs the woman. You understand what I'm saying? We have to crush that whatever that word come from, it needs to be stopped. And that's what's putting our people apart. Independence. I'm independent. I don't need you. Why would you say that? You understand what I'm saying? Then the bad thing about it, you say you don't need a man, but then you end up playing with a plastic penis.
Yeah. That's the truth now. And they go and make it like a penis, so you know you need a man.
But you don't need a man. You understand what I'm saying? You go get a plastic fake penis to play with, but you don't need a man. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead.
They don't go buy no plastic vagina and rub it up against themselves. I don't know what they playing with these women. They know good well it don't make no sense. They doing a bad mouth bumping gum. I tell you, doing a bumping gum. Just stop it.
Yeah, making a fool out yourself. You know what I mean?
You got to get them pulled back around.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, it's just the truth, because that's what I see. You understand what I'm saying? And it's horrible. And like I say, society, entertainment, these celebrities, these people sick. You know, these people sick, and it just needs to be stopped. It needs to be said. But I commemorate that brother on what he was trying to do. You know, and he went after the female, and a lot of women, you know, they was upset and mad. You know, my wife included. But I say he was doing something that a lot of people ain't doing. I already know the people that do it, and one of them is on this line right now, and that's putting people in their place so their house can get back together. You know what I mean? It take a real person to do something like that. When you start doing that, people gonna dislike you. You understand what I'm saying? They're gonna dislike you. But hey, that's what it's about. Because everybody else don't care. You know what I mean? They there for what they there for. They don't give a damn your house blow up. They don't care.
Yeah.
You know, they're there to collect their check and keep rolling. And that's what hurt. You know what I mean? That's what hurt about everything. So I commemorate all y'all for what y'all do. I put the word out there about Too Much in the Mind to a lot of people. I tell them all man, and talk about I talk about all y'all and everybody. So, you know, I'm trying my best to try to get everybody back together. You know what I mean, and spread the word to everybody. But I hug y'all to the heart. I really do, and it was good to see y'all faces. Even though I see y'all all the time. You know what I'm saying, especially Ain't Tole, you know, Love Doctor, all the time. You'll see your cousin Joe. So now we know what we look like.
There you go. Yeah.
That's it. I'll hug y'all. And I had to wear my, I had to wear my Houston for ain't it. You know what I mean? So, you know.
The Houston, win that at the baseball team?
Yeah, they're the Astros. So I had to wear it for ain't it. You gotta know where I come from, you know, down here in Houston. Yeah.
I hear you up there in Houston. Then what I had one of them turkey legs up there. I forgot the name of that play. They said they'd be outside.
Turkey leg hood.
That's what the name of it. Yeah.
Yeah, turkey leg hood.
I had one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Too much spice on it. Yeah, I had one. I was look. They told me, oh, it's gonna fall to bone. It's gonna be so good. I said, boy, my mouth was watering. But I said, brought it to me. I got it all. My mouth was watering. I got that thing home. I saw a little piece of meat, but I ate it. I said, I got one. We actually the Walmart down here sell them. Okay. Man, I could take that Walmart up there and let them cook them things up. Man, they'll shut it down. I was like, listen, they cook them at Walmart. I don't know who mama catching that turkey, ripping that arm, that leg off, making it. But man, Walmart, listen, they had that Walmart. I cut some potatoes up myself and onions and put them on there. It wasn't good to me. Like, I was shocked though.
Yeah, my wife brought me one time. You know, every time we used to try to go, it was too packed. So she ended up ordering one and picked it up. And I ate a little bit of it. I was like, it don't taste like the ones at the carnival. You know, I don't know what they.
Boy, that's the eating now.
Yeah, I was like, nah, this ain't. Cause like you say, they put so much seasoning and stuff with it.
Yeah,
and they taste on it. So I was like, nah, I don't too much like it. That's like this what everybody fussing about, and they be packed around that bad boy from when it opened till it closed. Man, it's just
I heard.
Man, I ain't no. I like my. I don't want all this stuff on my turkey. Just give me the regular turkey leg.
What you talking about, man? I'm trying to. I like it crisp. I like my skin crisp. Then the skin was loose. Oh man, you don't cook no skin like that, man. Your skin got to be tight on there.
You got to be tight on there. You got to bite that thing like Fred Flintstone, man. Just put it in.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, pull it with your hand, you know.
There you go.
Yeah, I appreciate it though. Yeah, I hug y'all to the heart. I really do.
Man, we'll hug you too. We appreciate that's our time. Keep fading on us here too. Hey, for all y'all listening, we appreciate y'all guys always. Confederate State, before they get better, we appreciate your nephew Evil Hobby, Mike Lyon, everybody else to help make up this great show. Hey, if anybody asks you, do you mind? You tell them you always mind. Every Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on Two Mics to My Mind. Hey, if nobody else told you they love you, we love you. And our language is called a hard. Tula, love Dr. Resident Joe, take us home.
Out, y'all.
All right. You're not required to set yourself on fire to keep other people warm. Okay?
Wow. That's an arson ending.
You're
not required to set yourself on fire to make other people warm.
That's right.
All right, we're going to go with that one. Put your gas and your matches up. Ain't that right? Tell them to get hot on their own.
That's right. I'll call love doctor.
Yeah, you already know. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate y'all too, man. I love y'all.
We're about to take it back.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Tony and Julie on the radio. Dr. Joe's therapy on the radio. The love doctor going live on the radio. Two mics and a mind on the radio. Radio, turned up 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 on the radio. Two mics and a mind. Two mics and a mind. Two mics and a mind. Two mics and a mind.